Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, the Cincinnati area has the privilege today of hosting Joe Biden and Van Jones at the town hall up in Mount St. Joseph on the western side of Cincinnati. Are you ready for all the traffic jams? By the way, it doesn't matter which president comes to town. The traffic is crazy what they do. But Bulldog Nation News is planning on being there to report on all the going-ons in the protest. We'll see what kind of video footage we got. I might even go myself. But it's going to be interesting. The bishop came out yesterday, the Archbishop of Cincinnati, and said he would not have allowed Joe Biden to go there, but it wasn't his call. So I'm telling you right now, folks, the hierarchy of the church is liberal as hell. Plain and simple. Jeff Bezos, successful flight in his phallic-shaped spaceship. I have to admit, folks, this it's pretty funny. I mean, anyway, he gets back to Earth, and he thanks all of his Amazon P-ballers. You know, apparently Amazon workers, a lot of them, I'm assuming this is the men only, a lot of talented ladies, if they do this, peeing in bottles because they don't have time for bathroom breaks. But he thanked all of them, and it caused an uproar. They all want their money back. Joyride in space. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos gets back, and he announces his $200 million he's giving away. $100 million he's given to Van Jones to decide what. Now, I get the impression it's not like given to him. It's given to Van Jones to decide what charities they get. But come on, man. You could create the Van Jones Foundation. Give yourself the $100 million and pay yourself some pretty good money. Now, it begs the question, though. He just gave $100 million. Bezos can just own the world now. He gives $100 million to Van Jones, who works at CNN. How do you think that affects CNN? Of course, CNN's going to give him favorable coverage anyway. But pretty interesting. You talk about a conflict of interest. Can you imagine if, let's say, Lyndon Johnson gave $5 million to Walter Cronkite? I mean, this is the world we live in. We live in a crazy freaking world, folks. It's not necessarily better. Rand Paul went after Dr. Fauci with a fury. And Fauci didn't dispute any of it. He just basically called Paul a liar. And what Rand Paul nailed him on down to his prior testimony, and he's going to do a criminal referral to the Justice Department, Rand Paul's announced. You know, Fauci, said, and point blank said, the Wuhan funding that came out of his agency. And by the way, Fauci's been there for 40 freaking years. And as Rand Paul pointed out, scientists that work in these universities are afraid to go opposing him because he cut off their funding. Fauci's a little dictator. He tries to come off like little America's doctor. He proved his colors yesterday. He's a mean little shit. He is. All right, Pence. Pence is on the campaign trail. Speculation he might run for 2024. And when Trump asked if he was going to run, Pence run, he goes, well, it's a free country. Pence has no chance of being elected president. None. He does if maybe Trump wasn't in the race, but no way. Actually, if Trump wasn't in the race, DeSantis. And as far as Trump goes, Trump keeps saying everybody's going to be happy, everybody's going to be happy. He clearly is going to run in 2024. I have no doubt that he's going to. He looks healthy. And by the way, allegedly, something he told Mike Wolf is that he expects that Joe Biden not to make it out of office and that he'll be running against Kamala Harris and win. Liz Cheney. Trump is meeting with all of the primary opponents of Liz Cheney, and this is a good move. He's trying to, come on, Liz Cheney will win re-election if there's 20 people running against her. He's going to endorse one candidate, and hopefully everybody else will get out of the way because they need to beat Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney is going to be defeated. We need to make sure that happens. Speaking of Trump dining, Trump dined at Mar-a-Lago with Michael Wolff, him and Melania. Michael Wolff reports that they seem like a very happy couple. And in addition to that, he commented about, the plans to run and so forth and so on, some of the issues. But you can't make this up. We were sending out, Bulldog reports, we're sending out that news story, and it got erased. Social media blocked the spreading of the story of Donald Trump and Melania dining at Mar-a-Lago. That's how bad censorship is. Their dining is a problem for the country? I guess so. Blinken, remember Barack Obama's worldwide apology tour for America? Where Blinken is doing that now. And it's biting us in the ass. Because every time we go after Russia or China, they bring up our woes that Joe Biden and Blinken are out there spreading. It's the most absurd thing ever in the history of this country. Our country's being ran right now by a bunch of jackwagons. Norwegian volleyballers are being fined because they refuse to wear those bikini bottoms. I have to admit, this is me. I never understood why these volleyball women that wear those skimpy little outfits playing sand volleyball. I'm like, do they really have to wear that? I mean, but apparently you do, and you're going to get fined. Norwegian volleyball player taking that stand. China threatened to nuke Japan. No kidding. They basically point blank said, well, do you think they would say stuff like that if Trump was president? No. Folks, we live in a scary, scary ass world right now. There's an old cliche called saber rattling. Man, everybody is rattling their sabers now, aren't they? They didn't so much under Trump, but they do under Biden. Lawlessness in San Francisco is so bad, shop owners are like, what the hell? I mean, you can just go shoplift all you want. And by the way, I'm doing a special show on law today to focus on some of the hypocrisy that's going on. Senator Ron Johnson, I like this guy more and more, blasted the rhinos who were trying to make an infrastructure deal with the Democrats, Mitt Romney and company. He basically saying, you know, you're making a deal with the devil. You're helping the devil. They don't care. Facebook, it's reported that Facebook pays incredible, gigantic licensing fees. By the way, they pay nothing to Bulldog Reports. Massive, millions and millions of dollars to the mainstream media for licensing fees. American Communist 10, working together. A grocery billionaire announced that he thinks food inflation is going to be 10 to 14% by October. Let that settle in, all you poor people who voted for Joe Biden because he thinks he's going to get a check. COVID 900,000% up with illegal aliens. What do you think about that, Fauci? They don't care about illegal aliens spreading COVID anywhere and everywhere. Ted Cruz, great line. He coined, just like Mark Levin yesterday called Biden a human pandemic. Cruz says that Biden is now spooning with Russia over the pipeline, Nord Stream pipeline deal. I like that. Now they are spooning. Texas Democrats, over 10 of these Texas Democrats who fled have COVID. Now people in the White House got COVID. All from these Texas Democrats who are now stuck in a hotel till at least August 7th. You talk about something backfire. They look like a bunch of nerds, bunch of liberal dumbasses. Didn't wear their masks. The hypocrisy, and some of them are acting like they're heroes for the sacrifices they're making. The Olympic Games, it's not ruled out that these Olympic Games could be canceled. The population in Japan doesn't care anymore. I mean, there's no fans, no sex, no handshaking, no cheering, no nothing. I mean, they're just going to put on a soulless Olympics. Apparently, Japan's going to take a hit of about $20 billion. Just think about it. They're supposed to be all this happy glory. All they're doing is getting threats of being nuked. Last but not least, the General Secretary of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, Jeffrey Burrell, has resigned. And the reason why he resigned is because he was busted on Grindr going to Nevada, Las Vegas, gay bathhouses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Folks, I'm telling you right now, the Catholic Church hierarchy in this country and in other countries, but particularly in this country, it's a bunch of sick stuff. You wonder why the pedophile situation happened and got covered up and went on for all those years. There is a serious, serious problem in the Catholic Church with the gay priest issue and pedophile. You can call them separate, you can call them the same, doesn't matter. Remember that letter that I got from a priest telling me that 90% of priests are gay? 90%. And how tormenting it is for him and the other 10% heterosexual priests that says, you know, this is a crisis. And it, by the way, you wonder, well, what's it make it? Well, that flies in the complete face of all, in other words, the hypocrisy within the Catholic Church on the gay issue knows no bounds. They're all freaking gay. But yet it's an abomination according to the Bible, according to them. I mean, it's just yucky, just plain yucky. This is a Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.